Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome inside the Target Center here in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the WNBA Commissioner's Cup Championship Fever at Lynx. I'm Scott Agness of FieldhouseFiles.com. On the road with the Fever is this team, a group that has not experienced any type of championship over the last 10 years, tries to set the tone here with a win tonight. But it's going to be difficult as Caitlin Clark, who did not participate in the shoot-around and stretching portions that were open to the media. She's dealing with a groin injury. She dealt previously with a quad strain. All indications is that she will not be available, but she is on this trip with the team. Now, yesterday, as the team arrived here in Minneapolis, Aliyah Boston getting the good news. Not only is she an all-star for the third consecutive year, but she also is an all-star starter, and even more special because the game will be played in Indianapolis. Now, come inside, shoot around with me as we look forward to tonight's game, which will air on Prime Video, and Indy fans will know the voice, Michael Grady, on the call, obviously an Indy native from Warren Central High School.
3 days off is obviously kind of a unique luxury, especially in this stretch of the season. How did you approach it personally, I guess, just with the extra time off?
So it was needed. So I think, more than anything, we just are trying to recover as fast as we can. The season's long. It takes a lot on our bodies, a lot on our minds. So when we have those opportunities to take a step away, to just try to recover and reset as fast as possible. And, this game came quick again. So we're just excited for the opportunity and excited that, thankful that our bodies have a chance to recover a little bit.
Do you personally use this as an opportunity to kind of unplug entirely from basketball, or do you find other ways to be productive maybe without straining your body?
Both. Yeah. I think it's huge when you're. Our last week being on the road for about a week and playing back to back takes a lot out on you. So that next day was just huge on getting sleep, recovering, doing what our bodies needed, and just listening to our bodies individually.
That week on the road, does that do a lot just in terms of building team chemistry and kind of getting people together when you're all kind of cramped into a hotel room and all that stuff together?
Yeah. You see them every single day. You see them for breakfast, see them for dinner. So it does. You do get a chance to kind of build chemistry off the court, which is great.
A lot of you come from championship experiences, right? Colleges, all that sort of thing. How do you view this as kind of maybe setting and giving you guys a taste of what big games can kind of feel like with something on the line?
Yeah, because, with something on the line, everyone feels it. The arena is going to be electric because of that. Everyone knows the stakes of the game, and I think we're just going to lean on each other to try to treat this game as normal as possible. Don't get too high, don't get too low throughout the course of the game, because it's a long game, and we're each going to have our runs, but hopefully by the end, our work will show, and it'll be good. Yeah, we're excited.
What do you take the most pride in the way in which you've shot the three ball over the last year and a half or so?
I think I trust the work that I put in. That's really all that I can do, and it's great for me because I'm getting a lot of open looks because of the other girls on the floor finding me in open spots, and just trusting that the work will show when I put the ball up.
You talked to Caitlin about wearing the tights, and why do you do that in the first place, by the way?
Yeah,
people have been wondering.
I got hit in the quad, so I needed some compression, and that's really the gist of it. And then I bruised my knee pretty bad, so I got to wear a knee pad underneath, and it was really just to cover up all that. It's like, I don't need all that out, so let's just put it under the tight. And now I've just still kind of worn it because I've been liking it, and yeah, so we'll see how long it lasts, but. Yeah.
No. Usually I watch. Anytime there's basketball games on, I'm tuned in. And so I think it's always exciting. The energy's always high. Minnesota always has a great crowd, and so I'm super excited to play.
Does it mean something extra to play? You played for lots of championships before in your life, but do you think it's just like a benefit in terms of what you want to accomplish later to play for a title in the season?
Yeah, 100%. I think this is a great first start to be here, to know that you're once again playing not only for yourself but for the community. Obviously, there's a chance to win some extra cash with that, and so for us, it's about looking at how we match up against Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota is a top team in this league, and so just seeing where we are in that standpoint.
And lastly, consistency's been tough for a lot of teams. A lot of teams have just sort of had some ups and downs. Injuries are a big part of that. But do you feel like you guys are starting to get a handle on that, the consistency part?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is showing up every single day. If someone is unavailable to play or something's happening and there's ebbs and flows, you understand that, listen, we have to play a game here. The next person steps up, just make sure that we're ready because everyone's prepared. I think the way that we prep for every single game in practice, everyone is ready, and so we just have to continue to play that way.
In what ways were you better prepared for the season, for the WNBA as a whole, after getting a couple years under your belt? Like, how much How much better off are you to start a season because of that experience?
Yeah, I think just understanding who I'm playing with. I think, obviously last year my start was a little rocky, but I think Caitlin coming in and her pace of play was completely different than I played my rookie season. And so for me, it's understanding that coming into my third season, like we want to play fast, is how we want to play. And so that was my preparation going into this.
What did your off season entail, if you don't mind sharing?
It was regular back home,
Okay.
Training one-on-one. Obviously I played unrivaled, so that was great, being able to just run up and down the floor right before season started. And so for me, it was just about making sure that I'm doing what I have to do, making sure that I'm consistent, playing scrimmages, playing games. So
What did it mean yesterday to not only get the nod for All-Stars, but a starter, and to celebrate with your teammates here on the road trip?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing. To be an All-Star, to be an All-Star starter is a blessing, and so I never take it for granted. So I'm super excited for those that voted for me. Once again, I feel like God just opened so many doors, and so for me, it's just being thankful and walking through them.
And then obviously you'll have a greater appreciation being in Indianapolis
Yes.
and being able to celebrate with your fans for the most part.
It's going to be special. All-Star is always so fun, but fans in Indy are just different, and they show up, they're loud, and so I'm super excited to have All-Star there.
I think we're getting closer, right? I think you still have people who are injured. You have injuries that aren't fully healed yet, and so you have certain people that are clicking right now, which is awesome. It's keeping us afloat, but our whole roster hasn't clicked yet, and I think that's the most exciting part to this, is that we haven't. And I always kind of joke around, but we're not going to peak too easy or too soon, and some teams do, And so for us, it is about being consistent, and I think this is why tonight is a great opportunity. We have nothing to lose. We're the underdogs, but it's a great time for us to shore up on some things defensively, offensively, run actions that we know that they can't defend, and so it's dialing in, it's being focused. You have some players who are vets in the league here. You have a lot of still new people on our team, but it's combining that and making sure that we stay consistent. We haven't done that, and we all know that. And so each day of practice, we're dialing in. We're trying to be more focused, and I really do think that when we click, we're going to be a scary team. But it's got to happen sooner than later.
If this season was a movie, you've already had about 3 or 4 or 5
Good
plot
God,
twists.
I know.
And again, you have been through that as well.
Yeah.
But is there a little bit of an exhale that maybe you're through a lot of the plot twists and you guys can really start to gel as who this team is?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of adversity through injury, through different rosters, through stuff happening on the court. But that's the season, right? You have highs and lows, and it's trying to just stay neutral through it all. And I think this team is starting to find its identity a little bit. We're kind of playing ugly, but we're winning ugly sometimes, which is okay. But again, you want to stay consistent. You want to know what our bread and butter is, and we're still trying to find that identity. At the end of the day, we're still a very new team. A lot of us haven't played together in a long time, or at all. And so I think that's part of the process. And I think All-Star break is our limit, and then after that, that's when you got to click. That's when you start peaking and being consistent. But today is a great opportunity to start that before All-Star break.
What does it mean to be in the Commissioner's Cup? Does it, because this is the 5th year of it, I feel like it's finally started to kind of establish itself as something that people look forward to.
Yeah, I still think it's crazy that you make more money here than if you win the whole league, which makes no sense. Again, I'm blonde, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I do know what I'm talking about there. But to be a part of it, I've been out in Phoenix and we weren't even close to it, and so to finally be a part of it, it's exciting. It really is. It's an opportunity to win some good money. Even if you don't win it, you still get $10K, which is nice. You're helping out charity in your local community, which I think is really important, that a lot of people maybe sometimes forget about, and I think that's important. But to be a part of it, it's exciting, and you're playing against a really, really good Minnesota team. They have a lot of weapons, and so it's a good opportunity for us to step up to the plate and do something tonight.
To go back to expansion, what do you value in deciding those teams? Because as you said, it was NBA franchises that it's attached to, but a place like Nashville has kind of that women's basketball background too.
Yeah, you would think that you'd want to try to get more of the country engaged in the WNBA. I totally get having kind of the brother team of having the NBA side, because it is helpful. It's way more helpful. You just get more perks. There's more opportunities. And so I get that aspect, but I also think that you want to listen to your players too. Like, where do they want to play? Where are they going to get excited to play and draw fans? And I do think that Miami would have been a great one. Like, everyone loves Florida. Nashville is an amazing city. Kansas City, amazing opportunity. There's a huge arena downtown that no one's using. And I think that the Women's Soccer League is showing that, people draw. And so I'm not so sure what the thought process is there. But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you're not expanding our league too fast. I think that's also another thing, that you don't want teams to totally dominate and then have teams that aren't. And so I just think that it's kind of a hard decision-making situation. But man, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit or Cincinnati.
Do you worry that that's the case?
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah.
What would you have rather seen?
I don't know, but just not that.
How much more would you have liked to see additional roster spots, given the situation you're in first before you get to that level?
1,000%. I think at first, like, we need to expand our salaries, like take care of the players who are in the league right now, and I think we're gonna definitely be doing that in the next CBA. We're gonna get what we're worth, and we're not settling for anything less. And I think that's a big message across the league, that we're not gonna settle. And so that's on the commissioner and the league side to figure out what they're gonna do. It would be nice to maybe have a couple more roster spots before you expand to two new teams. I think it's awesome that the league is expanding and we're having new fans and people are interested. But again, like, does it make sense? Can you take care of the people who are in the league now? Where are we going to be in 5 to 10 years? What's that going to look like? And so there are a lot of things that you have to think about. But again, I don't think it's that complicated. I think it's pretty simple.
How about what's been like for you in the last couple of weeks to see, I don't know, your brand, your identity just take off in a positive way?
Yeah, I think that's just what I've always been about. The people who know me, they're like, we're not surprised. Like, that's how you always have been. I didn't mean for it to blow up like that. I didn't mean for it to blow up at all, to be honest. But at the end of the day, like, I'm here to focus on basketball. I'm still so not satisfied with how I'm playing. I'm so annoyed by it, to be honest. And so I just need to dial in, focus on my shot, focus on kind of getting back to where I was before I got injured. So that's where my mind's at. This is all super cool, and I think it's fun. I think it's cool to show young boys and girls it's cool to stand up for your teammates, to stand up for your friends, to do that type of thing. But my mind is like, I need to start scoring the ball.